The silence of deep space concealed a brewing storm. Distant sensors at New Providence Colony first detected the anomaly 3 standard weeks ago, a massive energy signature that grew larger with each passing day. Dr. Aisha Khatri, the colony's chief of planetary defense, had been tracking the approaching Zorn collective fleet with a mixture of scientific fascination and growing dread. Holographic displays in the underground command center flickered with real-time data. Massive ship signatures clustered like a deadly constellation, slowly consuming the star system's outer reaches. The Zorn were methodical, always the same. They would approach, they would demand surrender, and then they would consume. Entire civilizations have been reduced to footnotes in their galactic archives. But New Providence was different. Hidden within the system's dense asteroid belt, the U.S. Defiance waited, a predator whose teeth remained carefully concealed. Captain Elena Rodriguez reviewed the latest tactical assessments, her fingers tracing holographic battle projections. Around her, the ship's bridge crew moved with a precision that bordered on mechanical, yet burned with an unmistakably human intensity. Each crew member was a specialist, selected not just for their technical expertise, but for their ability to think beyond conventional boundaries. Phoenix, Rodriguez called to the ship's advanced artificial intelligence, "Run simulation Delta 9. I want to know every potential response the Zorn might have to our initial engagement." The AI's response was instantaneous. Holographic battle scenarios bloomed around the captain, showing countless potential outcomes. Probability matrices shifted and danced, each potential strategy analyzed and counter-analyzed in microseconds. The Zorn believed in overwhelming force, a strategy that had worked for millennia across countless conquered systems, but they had never encountered human ingenuity. Lieutenant Marcus Chen, the ship's quantum weapons specialist, studied the growing fleet with a mathematician's precision. "Their formation suggests a standard containment strategy," he reported, his voice calm despite the approaching threat. "They expect resistance to be futile. Classic Zorn doctrine, overwhelming force, minimal casualties on their side." Rodriguez allowed herself a slight smile. The Zorn didn't understand that humans redefined casualties with every conflict. The asteroid field surrounding the Defiance was more than mere cover. Each massive stone had been carefully mapped, its trajectory calculated, its mineral composition analyzed. The ship could move through this rocky maze like a phantom, using gravitational slingshots and precision maneuvering that would make traditional navigation systems collapse. Deep within the ship's quantum communication center, specialized teams maintained absolute silence. They were listening, not just to the Zorn fleet's communications, but to the very fabric of space itself. Quantum entanglement allowed them to gather intelligence in ways no alien species could comprehend, turning the entire star system into an intelligence-gathering network. "Estimated time to first contact," Rodriguez murmured, more to herself than to anyone else. 12 hours, 23 minutes, and 47 seconds. Phoenix responded instantly. The gathering storm was about to break, and the Zorn had no idea what was coming. The true power of the U.S. Defiance lay not in its visible systems, but in the intricate network of human innovation that pulsed through its core. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, no relation to the captain, stood in the ship's central research hub, her fingers dancing across holographic interfaces that seemed to breathe with living intelligence. "Phoenix is more than an artificial intelligence," she explained to Lieutenant Chen, who had joined her for a final systems check. "It's a cognitive ecosystem, constantly learning, adapting, predicting." The ship's eye was a marvel of human engineering. Unlike alien computational systems that followed rigid algorithms, Phoenix was built on quantum neural networks that mimicked the human brain's remarkable capacity for creative problem-solving. Each moment brought new calculations, new possibilities that no traditional computer could comprehend. In the Quantum Communication Center, a team of specialists worked in perfect synchronization. Dr. Kamal Nawaz, the lead quantum communications engineer, explained the unique human approach to Lieutenant Sarah Martinez. The Zorn think in linear paths, he said, pointing to a complex holographic display. We think in probability waves. Our communication doesn't just transmit information, it creates potential. The display showed a complex web of quantum-entangled communication nodes. Each point represented not just a piece of data, but a potential strategy, a possible outcome. Where alien species saw communication as a simple transmission of information, humans had transformed it into a living, breathing strategic tool. Deep within the ship's engineering section, Chief Engineer Rebecca Liu oversaw systems that defied conventional understanding. The Defiance's power core was a masterpiece of human innovation, a microfusion system that could adapt its energy output with millisecond precision. Unlike alien ships with rigid power distributions, this system was alive, responsive, capable of redirecting energy in ways that would make traditional engineering manuals obsolete. "Watch this," Liu said to her junior engineer, tapping a series of commands. The ship's power grid shifted like a living organism, channels of energy redirecting with impossible speed. The Zorn see a ship. We see a living system. On the bridge, Captain Rodriguez reviewed the latest intelligence reports. Phoenix compiled information from quantum communication arrays, deep space probes, and predictive algorithms that drew from centuries of human conflict study. The AI didn't just gather data, it created narratives, understanding the psychological and strategic implications of each piece of information. "Show me potential engagement scenarios," Rodriguez commanded. The holographic display exploded with possibility. Thousands of potential battle configurations danced before her eyes, each one a testament to human creativity. Where alien tactical systems would provide limited options, Phoenix generated an almost infinite array of strategies, learning and adapting with each projection. Lieutenant Chen watched in awe. "How does it do that?" Dr. Rodriguez smiled. "Because it thinks like us. Unpredictable, creative, willing to break every rule to achieve the impossible." The Zorn believed they were approaching a simple colony. They had no idea they were sailing into a storm of human innovation, a technological ecosystem that was more alive, more adaptive, more dangerous than any weapon they could imagine. The human edge was about to become painfully clear. The moment hung suspended in time. Space itself seemed to hold its breath as the U.S. Defiance prepared to transform from a hidden predator to an unstoppable force of human ingenuity. "Quantum resonance torpedoes armed," Lieutenant Marcus Chen announced, his voice steady despite the magnitude of the moment. Each weapon was more than a simple projectile. It was a mathematically perfect instrument of strategic brilliance. Captain Rodriguez's eyes narrowed. "Phoenix, initiate engagement protocol Alpha 7. The ship's artificial intelligence responded instantly. Quantum communication arrays began to vibrate at frequencies beyond alien comprehension. The asteroid field around the Defiance became a living shield, its massive stones repositioning with impossible precision. Each asteroid was now a potential weapon, a potential defense, a potential misdirection. "Target acquisition complete," Phoenix reported. The AI's voice carried no emotion, yet it resonated with a profound sense of purpose. Millions of calculations completed in microseconds, each potential trajectory analyzed and optimized beyond any known strategic doctrine. The first wave of quantum resonance torpedoes materialized with no warning. They didn't simply move through space. They existed in multiple potential locations simultaneously, a quantum phenomenon that defied traditional understanding of motion and targeting. The Zorn fleet's advanced sensor arrays struggled to comprehend these impossible projectiles. Dr. Aisha Khatri watched from the colony's underground command center, her breath caught in her throat. The holographic displays showed something unprecedented, a battle that wasn't just a confrontation, but a complete reimagining of warfare. "They're using spatial probability as a weapon," she whispered to her team. Traditional military training spoke of attack vectors and battle lines. Humans had turned space itself into a strategic tool. On the Defiance's bridge, Lieutenant Sarah Martinez managed the quantum communication network. Each transmission was a masterpiece of misdirection. Signal patterns twisted and transformed, creating false echoes, phantom targets that confused and dismayed the approaching Zorn fleet. Multiple Zorn command ships losing sensor coherence, she reported. The human technology didn't just attack, it undermined the very foundation of alien perception. Phoenix began its true masterpiece of strategic engagement. The torpedoes weren't simply weapons, they were information gatherers, probability manipulators, cognitive disruptors. Each projectile collected data, adjusted its trajectory in real time, and communicated instantaneously with the Defiance's quantum network. The first Zorn battleships found themselves caught in a nightmare of mathematical precision. Their shields, once considered impenetrable, began to destabilize, not through brute force, but through a sophisticated manipulation of quantum harmonics that the aliens couldn't comprehend. Engagement efficiency at 97.3%, Phoenix reported. The number meant nothing to the AI, but to the human crew, it was a symphony of strategic perfection. Captain Rodriguez allowed herself the slightest smile. This wasn't just an attack. This was a demonstration, a clear message to the galaxy about the true nature of human warfare. The Zorn fleet was about to learn that technology was not just about power, it was about imagination. And humans had imagination in infinite supply. The battlefield transformed into a canvas of human unpredictability, where alien military doctrine demanded rigid formations and predictable responses. The U.S. Defiance introduced a hurricane of strategic chaos that defied every known principle of space combat. Adaptive response protocols engaging, Lieutenant Marcus Chen called out, his fingers dancing across quantum interface panels that seemed to breathe with living intelligence. The ship's systems were no longer simply mechanical. They were an extension of human creativity, constantly reimagining the very concept of warfare. Phoenix, the ship's artificial intelligence, processed information at speeds that would make traditional computers appear prehistoric. Each microsecond brought thousands of potential scenarios, strategies that emerged and dissolved faster than any alien sensor could track. The AI didn't just analyze. It dreamed of possibilities. Rerouting quantum communication arrays, Sarah Martinez announced. Her fingers moved like a concert pianist, transforming communication networks into a living, breathing strategic weapon. Where the Zorn expected straightforward signal transmissions, they received a labyrinth of quantum-entangled information that twisted and shifted with impossible complexity. Deep within the ship's adaptive systems, Chief Engineer Rebecca Liu monitored the real-time transformation of the Defiance's capabilities. Shield harmonics changed faster than the laws of physics should allow. Weapon systems reconfigured themselves mid-engagement, finding optimal configurations that no pre-programmed algorithm could predict. "Look at this," Liu said to her junior engineer, pointing to a holographic display that showed the ship's systems in constant, fluid motion. "We're not just fighting. We're improvising." The Zorn fleet found itself trapped in a nightmare of human innovation. Their sophisticated targeting systems struggled to lock onto a ship that seemed to exist in multiple realities simultaneously. The Defiance didn't just move, it existed as a probability wave, a quantum phenomenon that defied traditional understanding of space and motion. Captain Rodriguez studied the evolving battlefield with a mathematician's precision and an artist's creativity. "Phoenix," she called, "show me potential engagement vectors that violate standard tactical doctrine." The holographic display exploded with possibilities. Trajectories that bent around natural gravitational fields, communication patterns that created cognitive dissonance in alien targeting systems, energy distributions that transformed the very nature of space itself. Lieutenant Chen watched in awe. How is this even possible? Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's lead quantum systems researcher, smiled. "Because we don't see limitations, we see possibilities." The Zorn communication networks began to fragment. Their rigid command structures, built on millennia of predictable warfare, couldn't comprehend the living, breathing strategy of the human ship. Each attempt to counter the Defiance's movements only exposed more vulnerabilities. Phoenix continued its symphony of chaos. Shield modulations changed faster than light could travel. Weapon systems became living entities, adapting and transforming with each passing moment. The ship wasn't just a weapon. It was a cognitive ecosystem that learned and evolved in real time. Engagement complexity at maximum, the AI reported. The words meant nothing. The reality was everything. Chaos wasn't just a strategy. For humans, it was an art form. And the Defiance was about to complete its masterpiece. The quantum communication arrays on the U.S. Defiance captured more than just signals. They intercepted the soul of the Zorn Collective's collective consciousness. Fear was a language, and humans had become its most fluent speakers. Lieutenant Sarah Martinez leaned forward, her fingers hovering over holographic interfaces that translated the alien communications. "Their command structure is beginning to fracture," she reported, her voice calm despite the momentous revelation. The psychological warfare had begun long before the first weapon was fired. Phoenix, the ship's artificial intelligence, had been systematically dismantling the Zorn fleet's cohesion through a masterpiece of cognitive manipulation. Each intercepted communication was a carefully crafted thread in a tapestry of strategic disruption. "Analyze their communication patterns," Captain Rodriguez commanded. The holographic display transformed, revealing the intricate web of Zorn fleet communications. Where once there had been a unified, rigid network, now there were fractures. Tiny fissures of doubt that would soon become chasms of panic. Dr. Aisha Kaftri watched from the colony's underground command center, her expertise in xenopsychology providing critical insights. "They're a species that has never encountered true unpredictability," she explained to her team. "Their entire military doctrine is built on absolute certainty." The Zorn had conquered countless civilizations through overwhelming force and psychological intimidation. They approached each conflict with the certainty of mathematical precision. Humanity represented something entirely different, a force that rewrote the very equations of conflict. On the Defiance's bridge, Lieutenant Marcus Chen monitored the quantum disinformation network. "We're not just intercepting their communications," he explained to a junior officer. "We're creating them." Phantom signal patterns emerge, carefully crafted to exploit the Zorn's most fundamental psychological vulnerabilities. Each transmission was a work of art, a message that spoke directly to the collective fears of an entire species. Phoenix began its most intricate performance. The AI didn't just manipulate information, it created entire narrative ecosystems that spread through the Zorn fleet like a cognitive virus. False reports of catastrophic system failures, phantom enemy reinforcements, complete breakdowns in their own command structure. Communication complexity reaching critical threshold, the AI reported. The first signs of true panic began to emerge in the Zorn fleet's communications. Rigid command structures started to dissolve. Ships that had once moved in perfect synchronization now showed signs of individual hesitation. Captain Rodriguez allowed herself a moment of reflection. This was more than a battle. It was a demonstration of humanity's most powerful weapon. Not technology, not firepower, but the ability to understand and manipulate the very psychology of conflict. "They're running probability scenarios," Sarah Martinez announced, her voice tinged with a hint of professional admiration. "But they can't comprehend our approach." The Zorn had developed their technology over millennia. They had conquered civilizations across entire star systems, but they had never encountered a species that could turn uncertainty itself into a weapon. Dr. Elena Rodriguez, the ship's quantum systems researcher, smiled. "Chaos is a language," she murmured, "and we are its native speakers." The Zorn fleet was about to learn the most important lesson in the universe. True power isn't about strength. It's about adaptation. And humans were the masters of adaptation. Precision became poetry in the hands of human strategic mastery. The U.S. Defiance prepared to deliver a strike that would redefine the very concept of tactical engagement. "Command ship targeting sequence initiated," Lieutenant Marcus Chen announced, his fingers dancing across quantum interface panels that seemed to breathe with living intelligence. Each movement was calculated, each decision a masterpiece of strategic thinking. Captain Rodriguez studied the holographic battlefield with a mathematician's precision and an artist's creativity. The Zorn fleet had been systematically dismantled, not through brute force, but through the most sophisticated form of psychological and technological warfare ever conceived. Phoenix, the ship's artificial intelligence, began its most intricate performance. The targeting systems were more than simple weapon guides. They were cognitive ecosystems that understood the entire battlefield as a living, breathing entity. Identifying primary command infrastructure, the AI reported. Its voice carried no emotion, yet resonated with a profound sense of purpose. The Zorn command ships represented more than mere vessels. They were the neural networks of an entire fleet's decision-making apparatus. Targeting them wasn't about destruction. It was about surgical precision that would completely paralyze the alien military structure. Dr. Elena Rodriguez monitored the quantum communication arrays. "Watch how we redefine targeting," she explained to a junior team member. Each potential trajectory was a mathematical masterpiece, a probability wave that existed in multiple potential realities simultaneously. Lieutenant Sarah Martinez managed the communication network with the precision of a concert conductor. False signal patterns emerge, creating a labyrinth of cognitive confusion. The Zorn fleet's communication systems found themselves trapped in a maze of quantum-entangled information. "Their command structure is completely isolated," Martinez reported. Her voice carried a mixture of professional detachment and subtle pride. Chief Engineer Rebecca Liu oversaw the ship's adaptive systems. Shield harmonics, weapon configurations, energy distributions, everything moved with a fluidity that defied traditional understanding of mechanical systems. The Defiance was more than a ship. It was a living, breathing strategic organism. Precision targeting at 99.7% efficiency, Phoenix announced. The first strike was a symphony of mathematical perfection. Quantum resonance projectiles materialized with no warning, existing in multiple potential locations simultaneously. Traditional sensor systems couldn't comprehend these impossible trajectories. Captain Rodriguez understood the deeper significance of the moment. This wasn't just a battle. It was a demonstration, a clear message to the galaxy about the true nature of human innovation. "We're not just fighting," she murmured to herself. "We're rewriting the fundamental understanding of conflict." The Zorn command ships found themselves caught in a nightmare of strategic brilliance. Their sophisticated defense systems, developed over millennia of conquest, became irrelevant in the face of human creativity. Phoenix continued its calculation. Each microsecond brought thousands of potential scenarios, strategies that emerged and dissolved faster than any alien sensor could track. The AI didn't just analyze, it dreamed of possibilities. "Engagement complete," the AI reported. But for the human crew, it was more than an engagement. It was an art form. And the masterpiece was just beginning. The aftermath of the engagement was not a moment of quiet. It was a statement etched into the fabric of galactic history. The U.S. Defiance stood as more than a warship. It was a testament to human potential, a living proof that survival was never the endpoint of human ambition. "Full system analysis," Captain Rodriguez commanded, her voice calm and resolute. Phoenix, the ship's artificial intelligence, began a comprehensive review that was nothing short of a masterpiece of cognitive processing. Every system, every interaction, every microsecond of the engagement was analyzed with a depth that no alien technology could comprehend. Dr. Elena Rodriguez stood in the Quantum Research Hub, her eyes dancing across holographic displays that showed layers of complexity beyond traditional understanding. "This isn't just about winning," she explained to Lieutenant Chen. "This is about proving what humanity can become." The ship's systems told a story of innovation that transcended mere military engagement, adaptive technologies that could reshape themselves in real time, communication networks that existed as living, breathing ecosystems, computational systems that didn't just process, they imagined. Lieutenant Sarah Martinez managed the quantum communication arrays, which now captured the ripple effects of their engagement. The Zorn Collective's communication networks were more than disrupted, they were fundamentally transformed. Every alien civilization watching would understand a simple, profound truth. Humanity was not just another species to be conquered. Chief Engineer Rebecca Liu oversaw the ship's regenerative systems. Unlike traditional vessels that required extensive repairs, the Defiance could adapt and heal itself. Micro-repair nanites flowed through the ship's systems, not just fixing damage but improving and evolving with each interaction. "We're rewriting the fundamental understanding of technological evolution," Liu muttered, more to herself than to anyone else. The colony of New Providence watched through carefully maintained communication channels. Dr. HFY Sci-Fi analyzed the engagement with the eye of a xenopsychologist and the heart of a protector. "This is more than a defensive action," she explained to her team. "This is a declaration of human potential." Phoenix began compiling a comprehensive report that was part scientific analysis, part philosophical manifesto. The AI processed not just the technical details of the engagement, but the broader implications for human civilization. Each calculation was a brushstroke in a larger picture of human capability. Technological adaptation efficiency at 99.8%, the AI reported. The number meant nothing. The reality meant everything. Captain Rodriguez understood the deeper significance of the moment. This engagement was a message to the galaxy, a clear, unequivocal statement about the nature of human innovation. They were not just survivors. They were architects of possibility. Lieutenant Marcus Chen monitored the quantum probability networks. Each signal, each transmission was a testament to human creativity. Where other species saw limitations, humans saw opportunities for reimagination. "We don't just adapt," Rodriguez said quietly, more to herself than to her crew. "We transform." The Defiance was more than a ship. It was a living, breathing embodiment of human potential. A vessel that didn't just travel through space, it reimagined the very concept of exploration. The galaxy was about to learn a fundamental truth. Humanity was not just another species. We were the future. Silence filled the star system. The U.S. Defiance hung motionless, a monument to human potential that spoke louder than any weapon ever could. This was more than a battle's conclusion. It was a message to the entire galaxy. Captain Elena Rodriguez stood on the bridge, her gaze fixed on the holographic displays that captured the transformed battlefield. Phoenix, the ship's artificial intelligence, began transmitting a comprehensive record of the engagement, not as a military report, but as a profound statement of human capability. "Prepare full-spectrum communication," Rodriguez commanded. Lieutenant Sarah Martinez managed the quantum communication arrays with a precision that bordered on artistry. The transmission would be more than a simple report. It would be a declaration of human existence that would echo across stellar civilizations. Dr. HFY Sci-Fi watched from the New Providence Colony's command center, understanding the deeper significance of the moment. "This is diplomacy," she explained to her team. "Not through weakness or aggression, but through absolute clarity." The message began. Raw data transformed into a narrative that spoke of innovation, resilience, and the fundamental human capacity for reimagination. Every civilization watching would understand a simple, profound truth. Humanity was not just another species to be categorized or conquered. Phoenix compiled the transmission with mathematical precision and philosophical depth. Technical specifications merged with strategic insights, creating a communication that was part scientific report, part evolutionary manifesto. The AI captured not just the mechanics of the engagement, but the spirit of human potential. Lieutenant Marcus Chen monitored the quantum probability networks. Each transmission node carried layers of information, technical data, strategic insights, and something more ineffable: the human capacity for adaptation, the ability to transform challenges into opportunities. "We're not just sharing information," Chen muttered. "We're telling a story." The colony's communication specialists worked in perfect synchronization. Dr. Elena Rodriguez oversaw the quantum encoding, ensuring that every nuance, every potential interpretation was carefully considered. This was more than a military communication. It was a first contact scenario on an unprecedented scale. Chief Engineer Rebecca Liu managed the ship's regenerative systems, which continued to adapt and evolve even in this moment of apparent stillness. The Defiance was more than a vessel. It was a living testament to human innovation. The transmission carried multiple layers of communication, technical specifications that would challenge existing technological understanding, strategic insights that would force alien civilizations to reconsider their approach to conflict, and underneath it all, a profound message of human potential. We are not what you expect. We are not limited by your understanding. We are possibility made manifest. Captain Rodriguez understood the weight of the moment. This transmission was a declaration, not of conquest, but of potential. Humanity was not seeking to destroy or dominate. They were offering a glimpse of a different way of existing. Phoenix completed the transmission. Quantum entangled communication arrays carried the message across unfathomable distances, a beacon of human creativity that would challenge every preconceived notion of technological and strategic capability. The Zorn Collective had approached as conquerors. They would retreat as students, and the galaxy would never be the same.